Morning, guys. Happy Wednesday. We're going to read chapters 23 and 24 today. The cat came out of nowhere. Well, she came flying out of a moving car. But to Darkly and his hounds, it seemed like she came out of nowhere. It seemed like she dropped straight from heaven. She had not, believe me. But there she was, all claw and fang and fur and fire. She leapt onto the back of Scully just as the dog sank his teeth into Brody's flank. Her claws dug deep. Her teeth sank in and found what they were looking for. Scully's teeth let go of Brody. He turned his head to the sky and howled in pain, and a soul light that had been on Scully for only a matter of moments floated over to the cat. And then the cat moved on, springing straight from Scully's back to Thump's. Thump had been inches from grabbing hold of Brody's throat when the cat grabbed hold of his. There was a whimper and a whine and a desperate pulling back, but it was too late. A light left the dog and joined the cat. Darkly surged forward with all his ferocity and thunder, but the cat was too quick, too ready, and Darkly's teeth snapped only at empty air and snowflakes, while the feline claws raked his snout and eyes. Then a mouth, small but full of sharpness, found his shoulder and stayed long enough to pull one more light away. The hounds pulled back, leaving Brody with his back against the concrete once more. But this time, he wasn't alone. "Change your mind, Patsy?" Darkly growled. "Yeah," she replied, head low and ear back. She stood beside Brody, her eyes on the hounds. "You came back for yours, huh? You want your piece? I get the last sparkle, but you have first dibs on what's left before I get mine." Darkly's words were friendly, but his voice was not. His eyes were unblinking. The ghosts of his muscles were taut and ready. He knew better. "Nah, Mutt. I mean, I really changed my mind. You ain't getting any more of this dog's shine. Not firsts or lasts. Not as long as I'm around." "Huh. Guess we'll just have to make you not around." Patsy hissed. Brody looked down at her. Her spotted coat, even in death, was thin and patchy. Her missing ear was a gnarled scar. Her ribs showed through her fur. She had a tough life, he was sure, and an even tougher death. He wanted to be mad at her, furious even. But Brody's heart, it knew a hero when he saw one. And Patsy was a hero there on that bridge, even if she'd never ever been one before. You don't have to be a hero before to be one when you really need to. Because a hero isn't a person. A hero is a choice, and Patsy made one. "I don't think we can win this one, Patsy," Brody muttered down to his fierce companion. "You don't think I know that?" she muttered back. "You know you could just howl, you idiot." "No," Brody said, thinking of Aiden. "Never." Yeah, I figured." Smoker and Thump spread out to either side, closing the circle around them and pulling it tighter. The hounds crouched low, ready to spring. The time was on hand. "The snow's nice," Brody whispered to Patsy, who'd stepped in closer so they were shoulder to shoulder. The flakes were huge now. "I hate the snow," Patsy said, and she yelled and jumped, with claws slashing right at Darkly's snarling face. Patsy was smaller than a dog, weaker. Her teeth weren't as big or her jaws as strong. But Patsy, she was worth 3 dogs in a fight. Brody didn't watch. He was busy with his own battles, but he heard it. He heard her rabid fighting, and he heard the hounds too. He heard their whimpers and their howls and their frantic scrambling to shake loose of her. She kept at least 2 dogs busy. She took some shine, she lost some shine. The cat fought like a lion. She fought like a demon. What she really fought like? She felt like a lost soul. And Brody, he fought too, even harder than he had before, now that he had a friend to fight with. And they lost. Bit by bit, bite by bite, being outnumbered took its toll. They began to lose more shine than they took back. They landed fewer bites themselves. The swarm moved as the battle raged, tumbling and stumbling its way down the bridge. There was a pause, a break in the battle. Brody and Patsy stood tail to tail, facing doom that surrounded them. The hounds paced and circled them. The bridge quivered. A train was passing beneath them under the bridge. Brody could feel what was left of his soul. He had 4 lights left. 4! He glanced at Patsy. She only had 1. "Howl," she said. "No," he answered. "It's bad, idiot. It's the worst. There's no coming back from it. You'll be lost forever, like me. Just howl." "Not while there's hope, Patsy." "There isn't any, idiot." He knew she was right, of course, but knowing and believing are 2 very different things. Brody's head, which had sunk to the truth of Patsy's words, swung back up. "Patsy." "Yeah?" she said. "Remember Tuck on the truck when we first met?" "It ain't the time to get sentimental, dog." "No," Brody said more insistently. "Do you remember Tuck on the truck? Do you remember how you warned him?" "Sure." "So?" Think, Patsy. The train howled below them once more, like it was calling an angel. The whistle was more distant now, but the bridge still shook under the pause. At the edge of the vision, Brody saw Patsy's head snap toward him. She'd gotten it. I think our ride's here, he whispered. On the count of 3, Brody said. No time, Patsy hissed. Go! The hounds surged, teeth first. Brody and Patsy didn't run. They didn't fight. They didn't jump into the falling snow. Brody and Patsy disappeared, down. As the hounds rushed in, Brody and Patsy dropped down out of sight through the bridge. All that the hounds, snapping jaws and biting teeth, found was each other. Chapter 24. If they'd been alive, it would have hurt. It was a strange moment of humming quiet as they passed through the concrete of the bridge, then a roaring when they dropped into the night beneath it, right above the thundering train. They landed together in a rattling train car. They were in the very last car. They'd barely made it. The tracks behind them were empty, but as Brody watched, a shadow plummeted from the bottom of the bridge. It was a dog-shaped shadow, lit dimly by a few circling soul lights. Up above, at the railing of the bridge, 3 dark heads appeared. Brody recognized Darkly's shape even at a distance, looking after them. He could feel the beast's anger. Brody had escaped again, but this time not before paying a steep price. He looked at the lights swirling around him. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was it. All he had left. It's over, he asked the question lightly. But Patsy heard it. What do you mean, over? I mean all of it. Me and my boy, trying to find him, trying to save him. It's over. Why would it be over? Look at me, Patsy. I'm almost out of shine. I don't know where he is. Darkly's got my soul and he can follow me again. And just like that, Patsy's anger was back. She rose up. No, you don't get to just give up, idiot. Not after this. Not after making me think that. After making me believe that. She snarled, trading teeth for the words she couldn't find. It ain't over. See all those houses there up the hill? That's Hilldale Heights. These tracks curve around it. You hop out, you climb the hill, you start looking for a cop or that beat-up wreck the jerk was in. It ain't that big a neighborhood. What about Darkly? What about him? He's been after you since you came back, and that ain't stopped you yet. And it's all a mess now, anyway. Yeah, he's got some of your shine, but some of what he took from you, you just took from others, and some of what he got is mine. Your precious shine is spread thin and all mixed up. He might be able to feel you out eventually, but you got time, especially when we split up. Brody's tail almost started to wag. Really? You think I can make it? Yeah, but you better go. Time ain't on your side. But what about you, Patsy? What about me? I'll be fine. I always am, Mutt. Brody looked up at the cat. The hard-talking, tough-boned, nasty soul, chewed-up feline with the growling heart and the one little soul light circling around her. The cat who had betrayed him and handed him his enemies, then came back to save him. The cat who walked alone, always snarling at the dark world around her. Why did you help us, Patsy? Why did you help me and Tuck the whole time? Patsy's eyes were in the darkness rolling by. She couldn't look at Brody's eyes, at his dwindling soul when she gave him the truth. I wasn't helping you. I was helping me. I saw all your shine and just had to have it. You don't know what it's like, that hunger. So, all along it was just about the shine? It was always about the shine, Patsy answered. Until it wasn't. They rode in silence for a moment, the train shuddering and creaking beneath them. Then Patsy spoke up, her voice quiet. I should have used my shine on that kid, she said. What kid? The jerk in the cafeteria. The jerk who threw garbage at my girl. I should have used my shine to sink my claws into his leg, make him bleed. What's a soul for if you don't use it? I thought we couldn't touch the living. We can't, but still. Yeah, Brody said. You should have used your shine, but not for that kid. You should have used it for your girl. You should have used your shine to rub against her leg one last time. You should have used your shine to let her know she wasn't alone. Patsy blinked at him. What do you know? But Brody, he knew a lot. Why don't you call them, Patsy? Call who? You know, the angels. Angels? What, like the guy that took Tuck away? Nah, he ain't no angel. There ain't no such thing as angels. He's just a person. A human. Dead. Stuck. Just like us. They help us, or think they do anyway, and hope they'll help them move on. But they're just lost souls too. Well, whatever they are, you can call them too, right? Like we can. Why don't you? Because, Patsy, what you're doing down here, stealing shine and running from Darkly, that isn't a life. Patsy, I know don't know who you're here for, but you should move on. A life? A life? What do you know about a life, Brody? You had your boy in your warm house and probably a bowl full of food put out for you every day. I didn't have none of that. I didn't have nobody looking out for me. I ran and I hid and I starved and shivered and I did it all alone. You know what humans say? They say that cats get 9 lives. 9 lives? I didn't even get one, Brody. I didn't even get one. I never ever really got to be alive. I didn't belong here and I don't belong there. I had nothing, I got nothing, and I ain't nothing. And that's why I'm gonna keep on being me. On my terms. Brody looked at her. He looked at the fire in her eyes, and he saw something that hadn't been there before. A heart. A broken one, maybe, but a heart nonetheless. A heart with life in it, even. And where there's a living heart, there's always hope, believe me. When he answered her, it wasn't with fire or teeth or growls. I don't know about your life, Patsy. All I know is what you've been to me. It all wasn't nothing. You were something with me and Tuck. All three of us, we were something. Car hopping, outrunning the hounds, finding my boy. You have friends, Patsy, and you are a friend too. Not a perfect one, but you're a friend, and that ain't nothing. You can do what you want, but I'll tell you this. Wherever I end up, wherever that place is, I hope you're there, because if I belong there, you belong there. He looked into her green eyes that he could see now held plenty of anger. Yeah, but not just anger. There was more there. You're not nothing, Patsy. Not to me. You're an idiot, she said. Yeah, probably. Get going, she said. Get to your boy while you still can. Yeah, it's time. One last thing, though, Patsy. You're not moving on yet, are you? She didn't look at him. I figured, he went on. I hope you do, but if you're going to stick around, I want you to take some of my shine. Her eyes snapped to his. What do you mean? You ain't got any left to give, Fleabag. I do, I got 4 left. Take one, Patsy, please. Come on, you're enough of a pain in the neck, but it's just a ghost cat. I don't think the world could deal with you as a bad cat. Go on. Her ear was back. Her tail was slashed through the air. She looked at the lights glowing around his body and looked away. Patsy, you're down to nothing. Take it. I'm not leaving till you do. I'm not, he repeated. Take it so I can go. Hurry, please. Patsy growled. You sure about this much? She asked. Yeah, Patsy, do it. And then Patsy, she did it. Brody whimpered. He couldn't help it. He closed his eyes and whined as his soul got smaller and darker. Patsy let go. She stepped back. She sat looking away from him. Go on, she said. Get out of here. Patsy, he asked over his shoulder. Why didn't you betray us earlier, like at the dumpster? You know you could have just let me jump down to help Tuck. Patsy's answer was quiet, almost lost in the jittering thunder of the train. I thought he needed it. Who? Tuck. I thought he needed to save you. To get to forever or whatever. I didn't want to stop him from getting that. Brody looked at her for a moment, and then his mouth broke into a grin and his tail began to wag. You liked him. Shut up. You did. Did not. I just wanted the moron to move on so I didn't have to listen to him anymore. Whatever. You totally liked him. You big softy. Look, Mutt, I've been alive. I've been dead. And all that time I ain't never had nobody look out for me. Ain't never had nobody care about me. And it felt... never mind. We're wasting time. Get out of here before I take the rest of your shine. See you later, Patsy. She blinked and yawned. Probably not, she answered, and then looked away again. Brody grinned at her, sulking, angry profile, and then leapt off the train into the snow-flaked ground. And Brody, he thought just maybe he was flying down toward Earth, that he heard the last 3 words behind him as he flew. And maybe they sounded like, good luck, idiot. And Brody, well, he was right. That's the end of the chapter. All right, have a good day, guys. See you tomorrow.